Simply Scuba presents the Deco Stop podcast.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Deco Stop podcast. I'm Mark. I'm joined as always with
Dave. Hi, I'm Dave. I'm Sean. Hi guys. How's it going?
we're here to talk about scuba diving and stuff. So anyway, jumping straight into to Simply Scuba. So we're moving into August. So that means that we have a new product of the month on our front page. So head over to simplyscuba.com and scroll down a little bit, and you'll see our product of the month that we change every single day. No, day.
Day. Product of the month every day.
Good heavens. Other than that, I don't think there's a great deal of change. We've got a few exciting things coming. It's just a matter of we've got to wait for our sort of photography team to sort of take some sexy shots of the new bits and bobs to upload them. I know a lot of you have been excited for the new limited edition atomic regulator that will show its head on the website shortly. We just wanted to take some. Yeah, we just wanted to take some pretty cool shots of it so that you can sort of see it all assembled and see how it looks. Hold out for that. It's a coming.
For our competitors to steal the said pictures and stick them on their website.
That's never happened before.
Oh, no.
That happens all the time. Moving on to the green initiative. So this week I'm going to talk about the 2 Minute Foundation. I think I've briefly mentioned them before.
You have 2 minutes. Go.
We've been mentioning them more and more in a lot of our content, and that's because they're one of our partnered charities. If you've bought things from simplyscuba.com, you might notice that on the cardboard boxes there's sort of 2 Minute Foundation. They're definitely worth checking out. There's a few different ones. There is the 2 Minute Foundation, but then it kind of splits down into like the 2 minute litter pick, the 2 minutes beach clean, and those sorts of things. And it's basically a I think they are a charity where it encourages. I just wanted to double check. I wasn't sure if they were like a non. God, it's so complicated whether you're like a non-profit.
It's a Ponzi scheme, guys. It's not
it's
real.
It's a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
No, it's a charity, and
it's like a hexagon 3D pyramid circular scheme.
But what they basically do is they encourage people to just take 2 minutes out of their day just to clean up their local area. And they actually produce this sort of scheme where they will sort of have these stations and you can become a guardian. It's basically a small A-frame which you put, like old grocery bags into it, and then you put a litter picker, one of those grabbers up, and then you just sort of put it up somewhere. If you owned like a stretch of beach or sort of somewhere, then you can put this out front and people can sort of see it, and it inspires them to, I can take 2 minutes just to sort of clean up a few bits and bobs. And it's that matter of every little helps. There's even an app if you don't want to invest in one of these sort of stations or anything. You can download the app. I've downloaded it. It's free. You create a little account, and all it basically is whilst you're out like walking the dogs or something, if you see like a crisp packet or something or an old Coke can or something, then just take a photo of it, pick it up, throw it in the trash, and then you can upload that, and it's kind of like a social media but for litter picking, just to clean up your local area and just get rid of all this sort of plastic pollution, all that kind of stuff. So definitely worth checking them out. You can head over to Instagram, or you can head over to their website. If you go to the number 2minutes.org. Or head over to Instagram, search for sort of 2 minutes beach clean, all one word, but with a letter 2 at the beginning, and sort of see what they get up to. They're definitely worth checking out. And if you have bought something from Simply Scuba, first of all, thank you. On the smaller cardboard boxes, I'm not sure if it's on the larger boxes, the really big boxes.
I have had some in the past, big boxes. Yeah.
Okay. then it's got their information on there, so it's definitely worth checking out.
I was going to say, I'll put the links to that. So obviously I know you people are listening to this, but over on our YouTube channel, we obviously release this on a Sunday morning. Over on there, you will find all the links to that, to the 2 Minute Foundation, either pinned in the comments or at the end of the video. Because it's a charity, I can actually put their link in at the end and during the video as well. So yeah, there will be links to it somewhere.
Cool. So on to social media channel updates. What has Simply Scuba been doing on social media, Sean?
Nothing. So let's swiftly move on to...
Moving on to...
YouTube. There's actually not that much this week, which is a surprise. Normally this goes on for about 7 hours. YouTube, obviously, we have the vote. So the surface interval votes. Let me just refresh this. So as of recording... in last place, we have why diving cenotes is awesome and why it sucks. And if what you might notice is with that title, I normally swap it. I normally have the negative in the main, but I thought I'd swap it. And that's probably why it's losing, because it's not a negative one. In second place with 34%, we have the best dive sites for sharks. I know it's a generic one, but I thought I'd throw that in there. It's quite a nice... maybe get some footage of the actual sites themselves. Do a bit of old school Simply Scuba. Get some
I think people are kind of maybe people are a bit sharked out because we had Shark Week the other week, didn't we? So maybe that's just a bit much for people. We didn't really mention it because we're not huge advocates for Shark Week.
No,
I know it's changed tack a little bit. No. It's a bit more sort of a positive spin, but it was talking about Jackass, and it's like, the stuntman got bitten by a shark on his hand, and all this, like, and you're like, that's not really helping the image of sharks now, is it?
No, it's not. And also as well, unfortunately, with that sort of thing, like if you have Disney Plus, they've obviously tapped into, or they have Shark Fest, but where, even though if it's meant to be a positive video, they have to have a catchy title, and it's normally a rather negative, even though the actual video itself is like, we love sharks. It's like, sharks terrorizing, I don't know, monkeys.
Yeah, sharks versus monkeys.
Yeah, you're right, no. Anyway, so that's at 34. And in first place as of recording with 46% is 5 ways to work in the scuba diving industry.
Okay.
None of these...
I want to look at last week's, because I made predictions, didn't I? Because
did.
what can make you a bad scuba diver? That ended on 59%.
You said about 60.
I said about 60. Nice. How scuba diving will change your life? 22%. I thought I said higher. I thought like 25 to 30, didn't I?
Something like that.
And then 5 ways to help your local dive school is, I think I just said the remainder because I couldn't do the math in my head. That's on 19%. All right.
Well, that's
I'm pretty good at that.
Going to be all right. Oh, you Mystic Mark. Oh, get you a ball or whatever. Yeah. Anyway,
it was all me. All like 840 votes. That's just me on my different social media channels. Just
I knew it.
Gotta make it add up.
Yeah. I knew it. But anyway, if you wanted to vote for that, head over to our community tab on our page, and you can vote unless you're a subscriber, and that would have or should have hopefully popped up into your feed.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool, man. All right. Yeah. So that's that. Also, as well, just want to say sorry. There was no dive brief this week. We've been busy, boys. We've had a little project up in London, so
we went to the big city.
Got coughed on.
I went on a train. Well
done. Is that a big thing? I go on trains used to every blooming day.
I don't trust trains. They're not my favourite mode of transportation.
Yeah, they're better than buses. So
I can't remember the last time I went on a bus.
Yeah, it sucks, mate. Buses suck. Anyway, yes. So we went to London. We did some external filming. So because of that flipped. But we do have next week's dive brief. We are bringing it back because we haven't really done one for a while, and that's New In. So New In August will go live on August the 4th. The reason why we've not done a new one in is because, to be frank, if we did do a new in, here's a clip, here's a magnet, here's a rattle, they're not very exciting because obviously we're still filling our shelves. We are still getting stock in because, quite frankly, the website only started back up in January, so it's really only 8 months old. Not even that properly.
But it's also the climate at the moment, because manufacturers, first of all, if they were going to release new equipment, it was either going to be at the beginning of the year, the sort of the February time, before the diving season, so people can buy the new stuff and then go diving in the summertime. We're kind of in the middle of the diving season, so no one's going to release stuff now unless it's a limited edition £2,500 regulator from Atomics.
You say that, but the season for, obviously, I know people have obviously embraced diving at home, but in the UK now, as of the 16th of August, we'll be able to go to Egypt. And which is amber, and you won't have to, as long as you're double jabbed, people get those jabs, jabs.
Yeah. I'm hopefully getting my second one this weekend.
Cool, nice. I had mine anyway. Yeah. Basically, because we can now go ahead, there might be a bit of info. Obviously, brands aren't gonna push or promote anything new there, but yeah, there's going to be a nice influx, which just means that hopefully the brands will have more confidence and then they can push things a bit further. I don't know. Only time will tell with these things.
Yes.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah, so anyway, Newbin's back, and as long as everything's diggity-boo, that should be a staple once a month. At the beginning of the month, we'll get that back. Anyway, that's YouTube, so not much is going on. Even less for Instagram. Hello, all new followers. We had a nice surge over the past week. So I say hello to you. But not that you can hear this because you're probably on our Instagram feed looking at all our pretty pictures. But yeah, the reposting seems to be working again. I mentioned that last week, and it seems to be in for a win.
There's a lot of cool shots. So well done, everybody.
Thanks for letting
take some photos.
And then let us steal them. I meant borrow them. And there's nothing you can do about it because it's all in the terms and conditions. Swiftly moving on to the podcast.
Don't ruin it.
As long as you don't alter the image, you're all right. Anyway, so podcasts, again, not really much to say. The next week, I'll have a look at the analytics and see if there's been any massive surges going on over the next month. But just don't forget to hit the follow button, the subscribe button, the plus button, the button with a heart, whatever button
positive buttons.
Yeah, whatever you use to subscribe to a channel or to rate a channel, please do it. Again, I know I keep mentioning it, but if you are listening to us on Apple Podcast, give us a cheeky rating, and if you want to, give us a comment as well. It's always a big win. You guys and girls have embraced that, so if we can keep doing that, that would be fantastic. So yeah, hit that follow, hit that subscribe, hit that heart, and if you can, rate us, please. That would be amazing. Thank you very much. And that's it, mate. So yeah, nice brief one this week. I say brief. It's still been about half an hour. But
so on to scuba diving news, or just kind of news that piqued my interest this week. So Deep Dive Dubai have released the closest thing to a price list. So if you didn't know, last week, or actually probably the week beforehand, they sort of opened their doors, but it was like invitation only. It was just that sort of I can't think what you'd call it, almost like a beta test, where they open it but only for people
Will
that
Smith
they invited. Yeah, basically. A few days back, they updated their website to include a booking sort of page and information about the different so like dives that you could do there, including learning how to scuba dive, but also just literally diving there if you're already qualified, along with prices. So if you are qualified and you just want to go for a dive, by the looks of it, you have to have a guide with you, which is, I think, why it's as expensive as it is. Obviously, everybody has been saving all of their money over lockdown, so you have a lot of disposable income at the moment.
Well, unless you lost your job. Then you don't. Yeah.
Yeah. So a guided scuba dive to a maximum depth of 30 meters. So just sort of the half depth, but there's plenty to see because they've got all the different rooms and stuff. Is 1,200 AED. I'm not really sure what that is. I can't remember. But that converts to about £230. So it's not cheap. So it includes all the equipment and breathing gases, plural, which I find intriguing. Expert advice from our dive instructors.
Go there. Go in water. Dive. Thanks.
Yeah. Share your experience with as many as 3 non-diving guests through large viewing windows. So
people could watch. That must be so boring for those people.
Yeah. I mean, that was in Nemo 33, and they got their like restaurant right next to the, I think it's like 10-meter section with these big windows, so you can scuba dive past, and people are like eating their lunch. But yeah, it's not cheap. It's $1,500 to, I mean, AED.
Just say dollars, whatever.
Yeah, dollary dues. To go down to 60 meters, but you must be Trimix certified down to 60 meters. Free diving, that's like 900. So yeah, it's not cheap, but it's Dubai, isn't it?
Just think about all the sand they had to remove just to put that hole there. So
so they say that you'll probably need several dives to explore the different sections of the underwater city.
Of course they would say that.
There's a
money.
But they don't specify how many dives that £230 will get you. It just says all equipment and breathing gases. They don't
day,
say if
or you have a slot, maybe like
you can book a time slot like an afternoon.
There you go.
But it's not like, oh, okay, this gets you 3 dives or it gets you 1 dive. It doesn't specify. It just sort of says, oh, all the equipment's included. Okay.
I'm guessing then that money is for that. So if you book an hour or a 2-hour time slot, however long that's what that money goes towards. You don't get multiple. That 200 quid is for that. Oh, you've booked 3:30 till 6:30 or whatever. Boom. That's what it is. I mean, it won't be that. It'll probably only be about an hour to 2, really.
Yeah. I'd want to bring a DPV just so you can buzz around all the different sections.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to take it all in, but yeah, at least it's... Anyway. And you have to go with a guide, which is interesting.
If you want it cheaper, guys, get your iPad, or whatever, put it in a waterproof bag, go to either your local dive centre and just go in the pool, and then just pretend that you're there. It'll be cheaper.
Like VR.
Yeah, exactly that. Or like just go in your bar, have it there. It's like, well, I don't need a guide. It's all there. Thank you. I didn't spend all that money.
But anyway, yeah, if you're heading over to Deep Dive Dubai, you can now, and you can book your diving sessions.
Cool.
The next one comes from Jersey, just off of France, and the oldest scuba diving school in Europe is kind of in doubt whether it's gonna be able to keep its doors open, not because of like economic crisis or anything, but they're basically attached to a hotel, and the hotel is looking to renovate. So they're basically saying, right, everyone needs to like leave whilst we like sort of pull this down and rebuild and all that kind of stuff. But looking into the planning applications of the Water's Edge hotel site, it involves like the 25 self-catering apartments, all of that's been approved, 8-bedroom sort of home and all that kind of stuff. And the plans include a dive shop, but it doesn't specifically mention the actual dive center, the Bouli Bay Dive Center. So they're like, is this us, or are you trying to like undercut us and try and get a different dive center in? And it is like, it is really awkward, and no one's giving them like definitive answers of, yeah, sure, no, it'll be fine.
That generally means that they want to boot them out. If there's not a definitive answer,
they've basically been recommended, like, where is it? I want to say it's going to take like a few years for these renovations, and they've basically said, oh, okay, what you need to do is rent a couple shipping containers and get like power into them. See if you can like get permission to put these, and that'll be your dive center, like on the beach whilst we renovate. And they're like, are you kidding? So it's tough. Definitely look them up. Booley Bay Dive Center.
Surely, like the whole. If you knew that they were doing renovation, and you knew that sort of building, if they're tearing it down or even just modifying it, it's going to take years to do. So you should have already had in your mindset, I'm going to be moving.
Yeah.
You're going to be You're not going to be at that site for at least a year, 2 years. So even if they were going back, where's the plan for them to? Where's their beats? You know, their temporary site. Obviously, I know you said, you've got to go in containers. It's like, but they're finding that out now. Why didn't they go? Okay, when this happens, we need to move into this building. I mean, it's sad
tough.
if it goes. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems a bit weird, mate.
Yeah, because there's that heritage. They kind of like that. They want to keep it so like as it is, but no, obviously where you're part of another building.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's heritage is cool, and being the world's oldest or the oldest in Europe dive school is cool, but also time to move on. You know what I mean? If you can update and refresh, if you can go back, it's better that you're the oldest dive school. But look, you've got a modern looking
facility,
building, a modern shop. You know what I mean? Not that it isn't modern, and it's it's the same building since however old it is. But you know what I mean? Like to modernise is a really good thing. But yeah, it just strikes me as weird that they were like, right, okay, we might not be going back, and I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's like I it's cool, but like just because they're the oldest in Europe doesn't mean that they should be justified in staying there. You got to move with the times. I don't want any scuba diving centres to close, but yeah, just move somewhere else. You still got the name, you still got the heritage.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Jersey's the biggest place in the world. I don't think there's a lot of empty space, especially that close, because they are literally, you step out the front door and you're on the beach.
Well, get a beach hut. There you go. It's better than containers. Just get and if you're going to be there for a couple of years, the permissions that you're going to have for metal containers is probably going to be the same or similar permissions for a big beach hut. And then when you're done with it, just burn it. Beach fire. Woo!
Single-use dive centre.
Yeah. I don't know. Like it's a weird one. They must have known that this was happening. They must have known that they would be moving, and they must have known that it would take 2+ years. So they would have to be located somewhere else. So for the fact that, and obviously, I get the whole thing is that they're not too sure whether they're going to be going back into the building. Obviously, that's a big question mark as well.
The uncertainty.
That's the main question mark, which does suck. But also as well, if they don't go back, if you can, just go somewhere else.
Yeah, just plan for the worst. Have that contingency.
Exactly.
Like, right, let's sort of go full in if I can.
Like, if your mentality is, oh no, we're the oldest dive centre in Europe, we have to stay here, you're going to be surprised, mate, because they don't care. It's money. If another dive centre is going to give more money to have that spot, they're going to win.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, just because you're the oldest doesn't mean that you're entitled to it. I don't know. I feel sorry for them. I really do. I really do.
Yeah, check them out. It's Booley Bay Dive Centre.
Have they got a website?
Yeah. Well, they definitely have Facebook.
Go buy a t-shirt off them, guys. They need it.
This week, Fourth Element announced a new addition to their range. They're working with Waterhaul, which, if you haven't known, I think we've mentioned them before. Waterhaul basically recycle a lot of
Water. They recycle
plastic.
water.
They turn plastic into sort of new things, so they upcycle stuff. And Fourth Element have been working with them to create line markers, which are pretty cool.
Sweet.
So they're line arrows and cookies, but instead of using like virgin plastics, they're actually using recycled hospital PPE masks. So, I mean, first of all, the hospital themselves like heat sterilize the masks, so they're perfectly safe. But because of the increase in all of these sort of face coverings in hospitals here in the UK, Waterhaul have been working with those hospitals to collect them, and then they basically melt it down, and then they what is it? It's like heat injection molded or something, and they mold them into these line markers. So each line marker uses about 2 face masks, and instead of just putting them to landfill, they're made into these line markers, which are pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
Anything we can upgrade, reuse, whatever. That's awesome. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, because the problem is with these, I mean, obviously people should be wearing sort of face masks because even if it does sort of help like 1%, then
Better
at
than
least
nothing.
it's something. But with so many of these sort of face masks like ending up literally in our oceans, I mean, I'm seeing them like when I walk the dogs, you see them all over the place, and it's like, oh, struth. So, I mean, globally we use, it's like 130 billion every month.
Is
around
that
the
your
world.
personal number? No, that's your personal number, Mark. Jeez. Mate, what are you doing? You put on about 20 at a time just around your face.
You gotta be safe. But yeah, they obviously, even if people do like throw them in the trash and try and sort of make it a bit more trying to do the right thing, they still get blown around, and they do end up in the environment, so which eventually ends up in the oceans. But these ones from Waterhaul and Fourth Elements, they're actually collected directly from the hospitals, and then they're turned into line arrows, which is pretty cool. They're going to show up on the Simply Scuba website as soon as they're in stock. We'll mention it on Instagram and whatnot, and I'll do a product video.
Yeah, I mean,
but
they're the best company to do that sort of thing, which is good. On touching on recycling, it was quite nice to see. I go to Wilko quite a lot because during the pandemic, that was the only shop that was open. So I was like, I'm just going to walk around here. But as you exit, they have a face mask recycle station, which is pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, so more shops need that sort of thing.
Well, even stuff like, I can't remember which shop it was, but there was a bin like right next to that self-checkout for receipts.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, my local co-op, they give you the option. It's like, oh, would you like a receipt? And you just hit no.
Yeah.
But so many, I think it's Tesco's, and it just automatically just spits them out. And it's like, I don't want it. But there was like a little bin next to it. And you're like, oh, okay, that's at least better, so that people don't put it in their pocket and then just throw it on the ground.
Yeah. Boots are the worst for that. If you ever go to Boots... And even if you select no, they print out like about 3 offer ones. I'm like, I don't want this.
No.
I don't even use number 7 mascara or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want £5 off it.
Anyway, Shearwater research. They're announced.
New. I heard they're new to the scene, aren't they? I've never heard of them before.
I know they've got this dive computer called the Terric.
Quick question about the Terric. There was a comment on YouTube that someone put on there, and they were looking for a new dive computer. They did some research, and every video that they watched about us and me, it was my instinct was buy a Terric, and guess what they went and did? They went and bought a Terric, and they've not looked back. So guys, just from that one case study, buy a Terric.
It is a good dive computer.
I mean, you
anyway,
might go broke, but that's why we've got the 3-month Klarna plan, which you'll find out more at the end of this podcast.
yes. So Shearwater announced they're releasing their first Shearwater Swift air integration transmitter, which is pretty cool. Previously, they've been using the Pelagic transmitter.
So why doesn't it start with a P? It should be Swift.
I think it's just their dive computers that they try and begin with a P, because that's another sort of Easter egg, is that the Terek should begin with a P. A silent P is like a Pteric.
Like pterodactyl.
Well, Terek with a P is, I want to say Latin for like a wave-like motion or something. But when they were like in production, they were like, I don't think people are going to get it. Let's just call it the Terek. Let's just drop the P. So yeah, it should have a silent P, but it doesn't.
This one also has a silent. I'm going to start a petition. We've got to get the P in front of this Swift thing.
I mean, the Shearwater is a bird. I think there's a very like avian sort of theme around a lot of it. So I think they're going down that, Shearwater, Swift, bird, that kind of thing. But anyway, the transmitter. Previously, they were using Pelagic transmitters. Pelagic is owned by Aqualung, so that just added the cost for them. So they've developed their own one, and it's pretty cool actually. It actually listens out for other radio transmitters and like holds back to avoid like collision with other signals. So if you're diving next to someone else who has a transmitter, and to avoid like conflicting signals, the Shearwater Swift actually listens out. If it hears another transmitter broadcasting, it goes, oh, okay, I'm just going to wait a second. Okay, now I'll broadcast, so that you don't get any mixed signals or anything. So that's very, very clever. It's backwards compatible, so it's going to work with your existing Perdix AI and Tereks and whatnot, and of course going forwards. It's got user-changeable batteries, all that kind of stuff. So as long as you're, I imagine they're like Torx screws, as long as you're pretty savvy with sort of swapping over batteries. It's just a CR2 battery.
With this model, you've got to smash it like an Easter egg. It's the only way to get
Single
in.
use. But otherwise, yeah, it's got all the specs that you expect. But yeah, that's the sort of the clever thing. It's got that collision avoidance system. So if you're using multiple transmitters, it's not going to sort of muddle things up, which is very clever. And it's got a LED.
I was going to say that to me looks awesome.
Indicator.
That's cool.
Yeah,
all the other ones don't have anything like that.
No, my one doesn't. A lot of transmitters nowadays are coming with these sort of LEDs because you switch it on. Is it on?
Yeah,
exactly. It doesn't have a screen. Is it broadcasting? Is it not pairing with my computer because there's something wrong, or is it literally just run out of batteries? Has it flooded? I don't know. Whereas if there is just this little green blinking light, okay, it's on, and then you can work on to the next problem.
Simple things, mate. It's genius. That's why I love this new company, Shearwater. I think they're going to go places.
And the final news story is Paddy have updated their Paddy's Pro or Paddy Pros site. If you are a professional Paddy diver, check it out. They've updated the job board where there's all sorts of listings. If you're a dive center, you can upload listings if you're looking for a dive master or an instructor. If you are an instructor, you can head over and sort of look to see if there's any sort of work going for you. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. And they've got sort of new modern ways of sort of searching things, notifications and statistics and stuff that you can look into it,
nice.
Just to either find a job or find an applicant. So yeah, if you are a Paddy Pro and you're looking for a job, head over to Paddy Pros and look at the job opportunity board. And if you have a dive center and you're looking for some new blood, then just put up a listing and you can sort of filter through different candidates. And if you are a potential candidate, but you want to be headhunted, you can set your profile to public. If you don't want to, you just want to apply for specific places, then you can kind of make your thing private. It's kind of like LinkedIn, but for PADI professionals. So yeah, check it
It's
out.
a bit weird when I went on there, obviously doing some research. There was one from Internet Fusion asking for a new scuba diving presenter. I don't know what that was about. It was a bit weird. I was like, that's a bit odd. It stood out because obviously, we want an instructor. We want this. We want that. I was like, yeah, new presenter. Weird, mate. You got a meeting later on, haven't you? I wonder what that's going to be about.
What with HR? Yeah.
Yeah. It's not HR. What is it called?
What is it called?
I don't even know. Like people.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I get confused with customer services and customer experience.
Yeah. Anyway, Mark. Thanks very much for the news updates. The Swift looks awesome. Everything looks great. Guys, help out that Jersey store, and hopefully they can find a new place to live anyway. I don't know. There was a segue there, but what's your product of the week? There was something there, and I've completely forgotten it. So, what the heck is your product?
So I'm talking about the Fourth Element 5mm Hydrolock gloves. So there's an updated design to their very popular 5mm gloves. They've tweaked them a fair amount. Fourth Element gloves have always been very popular, especially here in the UK, because they have a very nice sort of tailored cut. So they're a very simple glove, nothing overly fancy, but they do the job. They have updated them for the 2021 season, so they've reduced the kind of the print detailing on the back. It used to have this kind of wave pattern like all over it, which is great for grip, but it actually reduced the flexibility of the neoprene, so they got rid of that on the back of the glove. The palm itself is only 4mm thick, I think, so you're still fairly warm, but you do have a bit more dexterity. So you can actually feel what you're doing. You can actually write things without having these big sort of club fingers. The palms themselves has this new octo print, which actually gets smaller detailing as you go to the fingertips. So you have better dexterity, and again, you can sort of bend and flex your fingers. And with the Hydrolock, there's a it's like glide skin material ring around the base of the glove that seals against either your wetsuit or your skin, so that slows water ingress. And this is the first time I've actually seen a pair of gloves have a thermal class rating. Normally you only get it on like full-blown wetsuits. You don't even get it on shorties because they don't cover like your extremities, but they have a thermal class rating of C, which is pretty impressive. I've never seen it in a pair of gloves before. It's not A, but I'd be impressed. I'd be impressed if it got an A grade, because that's like 10 degrees Celsius and below, I think. But yeah.
Come on,
yeah. If you're in the market for I
want grade A.
If you're in the market, I think my dry suit is a grade A. Other than that,
disappointed.
No, I think I've seen one 5mm, which was a grade A. But anyway, it's all subjective. I did a video on it. I don't know if that's live yet or not.
But, no, not too. I haven't even edited that one yet.
Jeez, I filmed that last week.
I've got 2 deep dives sat ready to edit, and it's not like I've had a day out, and also I've got an internal video to edit.
Yeah, chop.
So that won't happen for another probably till middle of next week.
Okay, so stay tuned for that. Thermal class is actually quite interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I can't wait to edit it. Riveting stuff.
But if you're in the market for a new pair of 5mm gloves, they're a good sort of all-round thickness. Check out the Fourth Element 5mm neoprene Hydrolock gloves from simplyscuba.com. If you just Google Fourth Element 5mm gloves, we should be somewhere near the top of the...
Or go to simplyscuba.com and then type it in the search. Don't bother with Google.
That would be better. That would be better.
Yeah, because, then you got the direct link right to our jugular. Our Fourth Element jugular. Anyway, Mark, thank you very much for that. I've ordered, because of your talking, I've ordered 5 pairs. So there is none left on the website. Got it. Every single size. No. Swiftly moving on. Question of the week, Mark. Now, Should you trust scuba diving influencers? Now, I'm going to put a little asterisk
my
by
money.
this. So either with your money, with knowledge, with everything. Now, I'm putting an asterisk because a lot of people, or some people, might consider us, Simply Scuba, as influencers. But what I mean by influencers are the ones that use affiliate links. So these affiliate links are designed, obviously, the only reason why a certain person is going to mention a product is because they have a link to that product and they want you to click on it, and they either want you to buy it, or even by you clicking on it, they get recognition from said company. So because of that, I'm asking you whether that, because it's a very grey area in not even in scuba diving, but in general in the affiliate scheme of things. What are your feelings towards that, and should you trust it?
It is hard, because even with the stuff that I produce, there is that certain side of me of, well, do people trust that this is like objective? Because of course there's a side of me of like, I want people to buy this because it is a good piece of equipment, but do people look at that and say, oh well, no, he's obviously just saying the positives about it?
I mean, that's the reason why we changed product videos to product reviews to unboxing like that. That's a yearly thing for us. But again, we are attached to a website, Simply Scuba. Now you might have, say, for instance, I'm just pulling a hat out, Mark Newman's Instagram page, but they might be promoting something else that, like an Apex, or, you know what I mean? Like, that's why the term influencer for us is a little bit different. Obviously, we're going to influence, but we're going to direct you to the Simply Scuba website, but it's under the Simply Scuba banner.
Yeah.
Whereas if you look at certain
I want to make sure that
influencers-
people have as much information as possible so that they can then make their own decision, instead of, this is it, this is what you want to buy, just buy this, just nothing else, just buy this. I kind of want people to go, okay, I know what that product is, and then look at something else and go, okay, that versus this, oh, okay, I'd probably go down this route. With influencers, I would recommend that, in that, look at their stuff, look at what they're kind of saying, but then do your own kind of background research and say, oh, okay, this person has like recommended this, it does look the part, but then spend some time. Don't be too impulsive and just go, boom, buy it, done, this, next, buy, oh, it arrives, oh, it's not quite what I want, I probably should have taken some time. It's, I think that is the modern world that we live in that, we have all these kind of like affiliates now out there which aren't always immediately obvious, and you do have to be a little bit careful with that sort of inspiration. And a lot of the time I'll see something online, you're like, okay, that is quite sort of interesting. You click on it and it all looks legit, but then when you actually dig down into it, oh, okay, they're not even from my country, and I don't want to sort of buy stuff from abroad and whatnot. So you do have to slow down, get that inspiration online and go, okay, that's interesting, but then don't sort of rush into it. Don't get your credit card out quite yet. Just take your time and do your research, see if there are any alternatives out there that might do the same thing, and then sort of take it from there. It's it is an interesting world that we live in.
Because there are people and there are channels that are affiliates that do fantastic job at giving the right information and all that sort of thing. But there are people out there that just want you to click on that link to purchase that link because they've either paid for it or they will get money for it. You know what I mean? It's a very minefield.
It's tough as a open bracket influencer because when I'm doing like product reviews, I have to think about who the product is aimed at, and then sort of reset my brain and say, right, I'm not a technical diver for this one. I'm not a side mount diver. I'm not a rebreather diver or something. I am an entry level diver. What do they want to know? Would this product suit them? And then sort of aim my review based on that. And I don't know if all influencers do that. I think they just like, right, I've been given this product. If I sell this product, I make X percent off of that sale. I just have to sell this for anybody to get it to get that sale. I don't know. And luckily, I'm not in that kind of pressure of, I have to sort of make a sale and sell this specific product. So I try and like filter it down to, right, this is designed for open water beginner divers, right? Let's sort of sell it to them, let them know all the pros and cons. Don't even think about selling this jacket style BCD for the diver with 2,000 dives under their belt who only dives twin sets, because they're not interested. They're not even going to watch this video. So why would I like tailor it to them? It's interesting. Use it as inspiration, use it as research so that you can see what is out there, so that you can go, oh, okay, that's interesting. Oh, I didn't know that this existed for scuba divers. Yeah, that's quite interesting. But then just use that as page one of your research to then look around and say, okay, yeah, that exists. Okay, that was cool, but it's not exactly what I want and or need at the moment. But it has inspired me to find this sort of down the road.
Yeah, basically, like that. How I would say is, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah,
And also as well, if you follow certain influencers, say on Instagram, and they're promoting a brand and saying, "Oh, this is the best thing ever." Legally, they have to put ad somewhere, either in a hashtag or in the video or in the story. They have to put the hashtag ad in there. So if you see that, just be wary that they're saying it's good, because if you click on it, they're going to get something for it, Just be mindful of that, because it is very great. But that's not saying that everyone, like majority of people that do affiliates, do a fantastic job in being clear about it, and the advice that they give is really good. And if you look at, again, if you look at their page and you look at the type of content that they're releasing, whether it's paid or you know what I mean, you will get a feel for if someone's trying to flog you something, whether in someone's genuinely saying, I actually really like this. But you just gotta just have that mindset, because like with anything, I mean, this happens across the board. This isn't just happening in scuba diving, but you just gotta be careful. I mean, the whole reason why I submitted this question and wanted to get your thoughts on it is, I just want our viewers, our subscribers, our followers, our community, just to be that little bit safer out there, a bit more savvy, a bit more safer,
Yeah, because it is quite interesting when you see brand ambassadors and they'll do this post and it's all they're wearing this one specific brand, but then the next week you see them like actually diving and they're wearing something completely different. You're like, all right,
that's it. Yeah. Everyone gets sponsored by certain things. You know what I mean? Like, you've just got to be. You've got to be wary about it. More so, like you say, look, I'm a brand ambassador for. I mean, technically, I'm a brand ambassador for Gregory Packs. Right. That's separate. That's nothing to do with Internet Fusion or anything like that. Because I love their gear, and I went onto their program and they accepted me. I was like, sweet, give me free gear, and I might write you something about it. But that's it. But like from my perspective, I'm a brand ambassador for that. But it's because I love the gear and I know it's good gear. That's what led me to it. It's not about a paycheck. It's not about anything like that, because I certainly ain't getting paid for it. But like you say, you got to be wary if they are, I don't know, a paddy brand ambassador, that you're going to see them head to toe in paddy, but that doesn't necessarily mean what they're wearing in that picture they actually wear. You know what I mean? They've got there's certain thing, you know what I mean? It's
the modern world
tricky.
that we live in, and also Instagram is a snippet, a very edited snippet of their diving career that has been edited. So it's not their like day-to-day life. They're not living this like amazing thing. Because where is it, Norway, they've just released this new like legislation where if your photo has been edited at all, even if you've just like color corrected it or something, or like up the shadows or something, put a vignette on it or something, you have to declare that legally.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah, and I think I think people nowadays, instead of just looking at the headline for the article, you actually have to read the entire article and get all of the information. But don't make your decision just based on one single image. You have to like search around.
Yeah, exactly that. That's good. Yeah, I mean, I knew that would be the answer because that's the correct way to do it. In all honesty, that's how I feel. If you're watching / listening to this on YouTube, let us know about your thoughts on influencers. Have you had great experiences or have you had bad experiences? Let us know. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to continue. I'm going to end the episode. So Mark's dogs are wolfing down. I'm guessing the postman's there or it's a full moon. So I'm going to end the video. I'm going to try it, Mark. I'm going to try it. So don't forget, if you're listening to us as a podcast, don't forget to follow, subscribe and rate us. I know I said it at the podcast section and the social updates, but it does make a difference. And every time we mention it, the spike does go up. So please do that. If you can, hit that follow, hit that heart, hit the subscribe, leave us a 5-star rating, nothing lower, or Mark will come around and break your legs. Asterix, that won't happen because none of us are really that type of. I've never been in a fight in my life, so I wouldn't even know how to do that sort of thing. It helps us out basically, especially with the podcast, because that is the baby. This is the baby of the Simply Scuba social media network. So, that's quite good. The SSN. No, that sounds horrible. So do that. Obviously, everything that we discussed today, brand-wise or product-wise, is available on our website, simplyscuba.com. So, like Mark said earlier, hopefully we'll have the new Atomic T25 and the brand new scuba diving brand, the Shearwater Swift. They will be available soon. Again, when they are in stock, we'll let you know via our Facebook and our Instagram pages, so just keep an eye on there. But again, anything you want from scuba diving, as long as we've got it in stock, you can buy it from us, which is pretty convenient. But if you can't afford it, or if you know that you can't afford, or you can afford it, but you want to spread it, you don't want to commit to such a massive payout or buyout from the word go. We do have Klarna. I was going to say insurance then, but it's not. It's finance. I don't know, Klarna. Basically, it enables you to either pay for certain things over time. So say you want to buy a new BCD or the brand new T25 regulator. You don't fancy paying them whatever £1,400 up front. What you can do is spread those payments over 3 months, which is really, really cool. And it's 0 interest, I do believe, isn't it, Mark?
Yes.
So as long as you pay it off, and you don't get it and then try and fiddle the system, and you're a good boy or girl, you'll be absolutely fine. And also as well, I think it's anything over £30 or up to £30, you don't have to pay for it. Was it 28 days? So if you just want to try something out, you just want to buy it, you're still not sure about it, you can order it, go through Klarna. No money will come out of your bank, but if you do keep it after the 30 days, they obviously then take that money out, which is really, really cool. Or if you're not too sure about it, you can return it because no money's left your bank. You don't have to worry about that. So you don't have to worry about waiting for refunds and all that sort of thing, which is really, really cool. And at the end, so obviously there's a lot more ways of paying for things through Google, Apple, PayPal. And just to make things more secure, we use Adyen, which encrypts your payments. So basically, not that it has happened, but if something was to happen to your data, hacks or whatever, leaked information, it's all encrypted by that system. So if you do purchase something through our website, it is safe, it is secure, and it is encrypted due to Adyen. And lastly, Ask Mark. So obviously we do a weekly Q&A. I say we. Mark does a weekly Q&A. I butcher questions. Mark answers them with me going, interrupting them halfway through there. But if you have any comments, questions, queries about Simply Scuba, what we said in today's podcast, or just in general, it doesn't even have to be something that we've sold, or if you just want a general question about scuba diving, type it in any of the comments in any of our social medias. The best ones really are Instagram and YouTube, because that's what we mainly check. Obviously, we check Facebook once in a blue moon, but hey hum. Yeah, just type your question in there and then just whack in the hashtag AskMark, and then basically we search that hashtag, and then as long as you've used that hashtag, we can then add it to the show. It's just a quicker way of finding your question. So yeah, use the hashtag AskMark at any point in your question. We'll find it and add it to the show. And that's it. I think I covered bases that time. Oh, 2-minute liter pick. Go check out that again. You're watching this / listening to this on YouTube. All the links to the products and everything that we've mentioned today are going to be in the comments below. And if you want to check the sources of our news, the news that Mark spoke about in Scuba News segment, they'll be in the sources section in the description. We don't pin them in the comments. They are in the sources section in the description of this video. So if you wanted to look into more about what we were talking about in Scuba News, you'll find the links to the articles down there. Anyway, how did I do, Mark? Mark me out of 10.
Yeah, that was good. That was a solid 9.
Yes! Yes! I'm awesome.
Anyway, thank you for listening, everybody, and of course, safe diving.
Yeah, stay classy, dudes. That's right, I said dudes, not scuba divers. Yeah.
The Deco Stop podcast is produced and recorded by Simply Scuba, the UK's #1 dive store. Visit today at simplyscuba.com.